hopefully the humming of this HVAC unit has been super crazy. Um, right now, we're just gonna jump into a back testing session. I'm over here in Houston, Texas, for today, tomorrow, and Saturday, visiting family and making sure that everything is good over here, and checking out the what life could potentially be out here. I mean, I'm loving it so far. Everything just looks amazing, feels amazing. Um, I would love to become profitable, potentially at least spend a month or two or three out here, see what life is like, see what the environment's like. I mean, my aunt and my grandmother's complex that they live in their apartment complex is amazing. The pool, it's like right down the road, like major things like Jack in the Box and stuff like that. So it's just super super cool. Um, the heat is a little bit iffy, but I'd rather this than deal with like winter. So and we're in the summertime as well. So there's that. But overall, so far, I've only been here for like I don't know, maybe 6 7 hours. I'm like that so far. So that doesn't mean the bad testing sessions don't stop. So they may just be a little bit late, like right now, it's 10:40 Central Standard Time, which is 11:40 Eastern Time. Um, but it is what it is. But in this session, what I'll be briefly going over at the start is the indicator here. Make sure the Wi-Fi is good. Uh, I thought that should just popped on. This indicator here on the regular trading view, I have it here as the PO3 right here. I just note the 1 day without using midnight open just to keep everything clear and similar on the daily higher time frame and the lower time frame because if you can see on the higher time frame, the open is the open is 6 p.m. New Day instead of it being at like 12 midnight. Like the day opens up at 6 p.m. And this is ideally where you get your New Day opening gap that you can use if you use that almost every single day. New Day opening gap here, tiny opening gap there, tiny opening gap there, nice opening gap here. So that's mainly why I use the 6 p.m. open instead of midnight, just so I have a full idea of the daily range. Um, but yeah, I'm not 100% sure what pair I said I was going to focus on for this particular session, but continuing the next day model, because it makes a lot of sense for me at least. I like the fact that I'm waiting for the higher time frame to let me know and tell me what the next day is likely to do based on the candle closure and how we react at a particular level. It allows me to stay calm, stay in the moment, stay present, um, and be able to put some size on to a particular trade. Now, as I was traveling from New York to Houston, I was reading Larry Williams made a move in the commodity market. One important rule that he mentioned is the 30% rule, which I've heard of. A lot of traders mention it, but it is good to hear from the source. Like, hey, this is what I did, this is how I did it. Basically, all he did was, for example, let's say he has 100K in profit or 100K account here. He wouldn't risk more than 30 grand. He wouldn't put 30 grand to risk. So basically, he's trading with 30K. Um, now, of that 30K, he could take max 5%, looking for a 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio. So if you're doing 5% on 30K, that may come out to be like 1.5K. Yeah, that makes sense. 1.5K. And then 1 to 2, you're at uh, 3K. So 30 grand times 5%, 1.5K times 2 is 3K. So you would be making 3% on trade, risking 5% of 30 grand instead of looking at it from the perspective of risk 1.5% of 100 grand to, get your 1 to 2 at 30K, um, at 3 grand. Um, Now it is a good rule. It makes sense, but I want to be able to grow and scale. I always looked at it from the perspective of okay, if I want to make 12% per month, I can break that down to 4% per week, which ideally can come in at like two two trades per week, risking 1% per trade. And let's say I win 2 trades in a row, there's 4% for that particular week. Um, so ideally, that's like what I've always came into it with. Like if I'm able to make, or even if it's not 4%, if it's 3%, right? 3%, 3 times 4 is 12. So if I'm able to make 3% per week, then I can compound that, make 12% for the month, and be able to, grow and scale from there. 12% on 100K is 12 grand. 12% on 300K is what, 36 grand. So there's a lot of ways you can grow and scale and make some decent profit from things, like risk management, money management. But for this session in particular, I'm going to go here. This is MQ, and this is PS. It's hot out here right now. Let's do oil. I'll trade oil. I haven't traded oil, so I'll trade oil here. And let's just go to the next week. This is Thursday. This is Friday, and this is Monday. All right, so I'm going to be risking. My goal for each week would be 3% going forward. So if I'm able to make 3% in a week, then I don't have to take any trades that week. My profit target goal for the week is met, and I could risk anywhere from 0.5% to 1% to 0.3% to get up to that 3% target. It's all dependent on the setup and how things play out. So yeah, jumping into it though, I have here my weekly chart. Oh, excuse me. Order block supports price here, expands bullishly, taking out this high here. Price retraces down into the fair value gap here. We support it on this week, so we can see potentially if we can get a run, a little how, or at least a bounce into this fair value gap here. We're going from external liquidity, running out this week's low, pushing higher for buy side. So ideally, what I would like to see is on this to push up into this high here. But just looking at it, taking it into account, retail would like to look at something like this as like a trend line of liquidity potentially. So if I'm looking at it, I just want to continue seeing downside, and this here should resist price lower. on a 4 hour. Yeah, I'm not seeing much speed to the buy side, at least to get above these high low inefficiencies. So I'll go from that daily fair value gap to this 4 hour gap, refinement. Now that we're above buy side liquidity here, tapping into a fair value gap here on the 4 hour. On the 1 hour, I can wait to see a change in the delivery. Ideally, if we are bearish, we fully fill this and trade through it. So on the 15 minute, we'll have to see what happens. We have some relatively equal loads below us, which is nice and clean. Here we have the run buy side here. This is 9 a.m. If we come down here, fill this in. I mean, come down. That's a fair value gap. That is a fair value gap. Cool. So we have a stop on potential fulfill on fair value gap. Shifting structure here. Displacement a little bit, then return to inverse fair value gap or order block or fair value gap. You can take this short for relative equal lows. So this is 9 a.m. Oh yeah. Wow. 9 a.m. This is 9:15. Yeah. Fair value gap here. This is 9:20. Let's see the 5 minute. 9:25. I'll take this short position here. Well, let me wait for 9:30. Let me buy down my rules. I like this. I'm gonna take it. This makes sense. We do have relatively equal highs up here. We could be respecting this 1 hour order gap. Let me wait. Yeah, let me wait. I was being too anxious on this, especially with it being Monday. Let me wait and see how price reacts. Finding resistance at this 15-minute fair value gap. What am I waiting for? Yeah, what am I waiting for? This is like some of the problems that I've been having with myself is like I would see my setup, it's ideal, it makes perfect sense, but I want it to work. Right? I want it to win. I want to be able to take the trade and make some decent profit on it, right? But because it's like it has the potential to lose, it's kind of stalling me from taking the actual trade, which that shouldn't even be an issue. You know, we're gonna risk 1% here, manage price, see what happens. I like this. This makes sense. The entry protocol is there. You get triggered in. I want to see this 1 hour inefficiency get disrespected. Run up. Oh yeah. Run out this high. We're gonna close this out. Yeah. That run on that high in real markets would have scared me out. Even though this is the total soup sell, and price just drops in profit. I wouldn't be holding all the way up there, to be honest with you. Now that we get that fulfill on this 15 and this 1 hour fair value gap, now with this order block here can resist price lower. If we get any retracements up into it. So the draw made sense. It was really just a timing of it. There's a potential entry, but timing is a little off because it's 11:30. We're looking to go low. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. This makes sense. It was just the timing of it. I put it to the timing. I wanted to see those, and so I wanted to see these lows get in. It was really just the timing. Maybe I should have waited for the 15 minute to really give me my play, especially with us testing this 1 hour fair value gap. I should have waited to see confirmation on if we disrespect this fair value gap, because if we do, then we're trading lower for salsa. So that's what I should have done. Plays out, GP hit, that's beautiful. On to the next. Let me not dive. Let me not like stay with that because that was a great trade. That made a lot of sense. So let's go to the next day. Gotcha. So with this respect of the fair value gap, take me out previous day's high on Monday. On the 4 hour, we have the entry protocol where we have some trendline liquidity. Here, let's take this off. Let's take this off. Focusing on this. We have some trendline liquidity. We have one on stops here, shifting structure here, fulfill on this C. Should be left open. And we have this gap here that is starting to resist price lower. So from there, right here, we get an inverse for value gap starting there to come through. Again, relative equal lows down here. On the value gap here on the 15-minute. I'd like to enter off this 15-minute fair value gap and trade it lower. I don't see why we would push higher. I want to see lower prices, especially with us being above the daily open. I want to see this go here down to the. And this is my 1, 2, 3 day low over here, but we're gonna focus that one. Nice. Base order 1%. This is 9:15. Generate sell side liquidity. We get entered in at the fair value gap. Price enters a little bit of drawdown. Still in a little bit of drawdown. Finding some resistance here with this gap inside of there. I want to see price come back down. So this fair value gap is 34. May not get that. Get stopped out once more as the price pushing higher. I don't like the fact that we generated some sell side here. I would have wanted it to get swept. Next session. Excuse me. This is Wednesday. Inside 130, going to the daily. Looking at a little bit of a consolidation. The draw maybe up here. Yeah, we're stuck in a consolidation here. It's having a hard time being. We're having a hard time. Well, I'm looking for a potential entry. Get in and hold it. So because I'm underneath my principal, I'll cut my risk in half just to look for lower prices. We run below sell side liquidity here. We have some trend line liquidity here. We create an order block here. Maybe now prices willing to trade higher. This is 9 a.m. This is 9:15. 9:30 opens. Trades lower. Taps the order block. 15 minutes. Tap the order block. Let's see if we get a run below the floor here. We got it. We tap that order block and we just stays higher. Everybody got to keep price higher. They're struggling a little bit at the opening of price. It's 10:10. We drop a little lower. Generate sell side once more. We have sell side again below us. And we rally off of that order block. Taking out buy side liquidity. Beautiful trade. Should have taken it on the 15 minute. This made a lot of sense. I should have taken this trade here. Targeting the highs of bid. That's the 1 to 3 that would have got us back into where we needed to be. Why did I take this trade if it made so much sense? Still struggle to find that answer every day. Maybe it's because I'm trying to go too low on the time frame to find and get that confirmation that I'm seeking because I've been or I haven't been comfortable. I've been making trades like this where I'm trying to find or I've noticed like after losing trade, I go down to the lower time frame to get that confirmation on whether or not it's going to go higher or lower. When in reality, the confirmation doesn't even need to happen because it's going to do what it's going to do. So just having that probabilistic mindset and knowing like that we ran out sell-side liquidity, we fully filled an inefficiency here. We don't quite have a fair value gap, but we do have an order block that's shifted structure here. So this order block is our entry right here at 9:30. We're taking this trade, stop really slow because we see trend line and we have a potential draw. We're looking for this to go higher. That could have been the reason why we entered, especially with the higher time frame in alignment with this. We didn't really need the 5 minute to give us an entry. We could have just took that for 15. Um, but yeah, that's what I've noticed. Like after a losing trade or losing trades, I start to get into that hyper precision type of mindset where I'm like, okay, we just lost a few trades. All good, no worries. Can't let it affect me emotionally. So on these next handful of trades, we're being super precise, super refined on our entries, on our entries, all the way down to the 5 minute to the 1 minute. So I know for sure, which I can't know for sure on anything in trading, so that I know for sure that this trade is going to fail. When in reality, so that's what I'm struggling with right now that I see that I'm aware of in this present moment. After losing, I start to get, try to get precise and find the entries that make the most sense and find a confirmation between those. Um, but yeah, all good though. All in a day's work, right? Still inside of this daily fair value that I really do think we're going to continue lower, especially with the generated sell sign below. We did take out this previous day high as well, just by a tip on a 4 hour. We ran out buy side again, hit ton of sell side that we can look for on an hourly. Looking at it like this, we run out previous day high over here, we run it out again here, then Asia formed the higher, a lower, a higher low, then a lower high, and then a lower low. So you have the order block creation here for the value gap here, pressing over to the drop off there in early New York. On a 15 minute, yeah, on a 15 minute, if we can run above these highs here, these LT for highs, get into this full value gap, and then drop again, then run on the buy side here. Fulfill this inefficiency, this city gets created with this shifting structure here. If we can see the rally on this high here and then the drop for the sell side, then I'd like that. So you had 830 moves. That's us to rally a little bit. It was 915. We drop significantly. And we go, we run out outside liquidity here. Am I playing it risky if I take a sell right above these highs? I'd say so. This is the 5 minute right here. This is the 15 minute. I take this trade here. My stops are above this high here. I take this trade right here, main threshold stops at this high here. I got swept, targeting a 1 or 2. This trade, we're going to cut our risk in half. I'm actually going to lower it like this. Now we'll asymmetrical trade this here. So if we lose, we continue trading at 0.3%. If we win, then we risk the 616. We get tapped in. Price starts dropping a little bit. Because we failed to close above this high here, I'm going to look at that as reasoning to trade lower. We get another tap at the highs there. Still looking like it's failing to close above. Except we got so right there. Because failed to close above this here. I want to see if we can continue lower. Time 10-15. Still failing to get above those highs. 5 minute order block created. 5 minute mean threshold respected. 5 minute order block disrespected, made push higher. I'm gonna get out here. Yeah. Good on me for cutting my risk, cutting my loss short. That was a good move on my part. I'm cutting my risk. Cutting my loss short. Um, it made sense. The entry made sense. The stop loss made sense. The target made sense. It just didn't play out that way, which is fine. You know, go on a trade by trade basis. But if you look at it on the 5 minute, there is no clear signature or sign that price is likely to trade lower. So all good there. This is Thursday as well, so let's go to the session. Yeah, this is nasty. This is just trading higher. And again, we failed to close above that high there. And the 4 hour failing to close above it. I'd want to see this right here, especially supporting this trend line. Doesn't make sense to me why we would support it. So 15 minute, I'd want to see bearishness. You have this full value gap here. Finally resistant price. We can get above these relatively poor highs here and trade lower than I. This is 9 a.m. And we generate buy side liquidity. This is what 930. Here we go. Buy side swept. Tap into the daily open. 5 minute potential full value gap entry here. Never mind. I'm just gonna drop. I'm not gonna trade oil here. I like the way that works. So down 1.2%. Let's go to the next session. Currently down 1.2% on the account. Not stressing it all good. Let's move forward. Okay, so we have the run here. We have an order block here that price can come down to at the key level, especially for him to close above side liquidity. We're doing it down here as well. Some full value gaps below us. So lower can be the draw, especially these down counters should be supported price as we go higher, but once it got disrespected, this can be looked at as the initial uh, break in support. So on a 4 hour, nice fair value gap in there. Want to see price come up against this and then drop lower to the sell side. Let's see if we can get above some highs like this. Let's see if we can get above Friday's PM session highs. This is 9:15, 9:30. We drop this outside. That's cool. You know, we're gonna drop sometimes. And we drop at the new day opening day. No, like entry or significance of 100. Let's move forward to the next day. Tap into that daily inefficiency. A little bit of support at that level. Yeah, we're not seeing any type of speed in the space of high. So again, I'd like to see if we can run a high and then trade lower. No entry protocol seen here as of yet. It's 9:01. 9:15. Nope. 9:30. Running up into that fair value gap up there. This is fair value gap here. We can resist that and trade lower potentially for it to get the lowers and trend on liquidity. Okay. I'm gonna change in state of delivery here. Beautiful. This fair value gap here makes sense. Closing below this last down candle before the up move makes sense as well to look for potential bearishness. What I'll do is enter at the main threshold of this candle here. We ran out these highs, the swing high over here, failed to displace above it. So my stops will be 27 points. So at the end of these days here, I'll just stop to this order. And get triggered in, and it starts dropping a little bit, a little bit of displacement. Wow, swerve that TP, buy the tip. Yeah, TP got swerved like a bitch. I'm contemplating closing out right here. I don't like how nasty a swerve is right there. That's insane. Let's see if this. I don't even want to see it or anything. This is almost 1%, so I'll close it out here. You know, this should have been 2%. Move my stocks here to break even. They would have been break even if it came down that fucking low. Yeah, that's an insane trade. That would have made so much fucking sense, but ends up swerving our fucking TP by the fucking pip. Should have got out. Should have got out. But it is what it is. We live and we learn. So next time, I'm getting the fuck out. So now we push higher after running out this sell liquidity here. Daily inefficiency up here. And we feel this inefficiency here. Target this 4 hour gap. No green area yet. Trend line here. Trend line here. This is what retail is likely to be looking at. So one side is going to be rated, and one side is going to be rated on the other side. So we'll see what happens. Now we have news at 10. Ideally, I would want to see the lows taken out first. This is 9:15. 9:30, we sweep these lows here. It's a 5 minute no open entry. I mean, there's that change in signal here, entry. Targeting. The there's the entry there, potentially. Right there, the order block. Alright, the buy side, yeah, that was the entry here. Targeting. There's a draw. This dude's hasn't hit. We just ran out this high over here, which can be enough to run price lower. Now we're going to stay in this area. So go to the next day. We get a nice reaction here, so looking to run out those sell side liquidity pools. Yeah. So we're going to read the lows. So menu. 9 a.m., 9:15, 9:30, fire, mouse, mouse on the push higher, tapping into the lowers like that daily. Well, we feel the block. Yeah, we do have some LCD blinds here in the 4 hour. Maybe I'm rushing because I'm rushing my analysis. Yeah, that's how it's, yeah, that's how I think it's. There's a shadow, shadow, or we put that in the frequency, you can tap down into it and then trade back. 9:15, 9:30, sweep the low, a little lower, same sweep. Nice, I like that. Run above this. 6-minute inverse. We'll trick it in. Price shoots up above. Buy side liquidity here. I think it moves to the rejection gap. Good value gap. Get fully filled. And we just back down. Contract 11:10. Yeah, we're likely to get stopped out, especially up at 15-minute order block. With that for value gap. That's going to be disclosed. That makes sense for price to start displacing lower, but that makes sense. This is Friday though, and this is August as well. So a little bit iffy on the option, but it is what it is. We shouldn't be losing. We know what we're doing. So I believe this is going to continue pushing high. Just having some move the lowest that we can take out. That's in the weekly. From internal to external. Internal insecurity to external insecurity. And then internal to external. You can see if we run below Friday as well. This is 9:15. This is 9:30. Brand stocks on Ran stops, ran stops, show structure here. Institution order for entry drill. Order. Here. It's just an order for entry drill. Let's get out of this because price runs out those stops and price just show structure lower. There goes the stop loss. Yep. This takes a little while. I'm gonna see the price continue higher. Yeah, there we go. Oh, it does end up stalling. This is into London session here. With the bullets we support. There's the levels there. This is 915. Yep. I'm gonna call it a day here. I need to reflect my entries, get those right, get my timing down, focus on a particular window in time from like say 9 to 12. Focus on those 3 hours. Uh, make sure my entry protocol is to fall. And my design liquidity. Refine that. Make sure that it's right. I end it here still got a lot of work to do. We're growing. We're growing.